Ahsoka Tano, Anakin Skywalker's apprentice. Ahsoka left the Jedi Order before it was destroyed during the Order 66. She re-emerged years later as Fulcrum, a leader in the fledgling rebellion against the Empire. Hello, welcome to another Centaurian's Corner, and today we're reviewing Ahsoka Tano from Rebels, not the Clone Wars, it's the Rebels version. So she's a bit older, you know, I would say she's sort of like maybe mid-30s now, and yeah, looking pretty fine and dandy. I remember going to the Clone Wars back when it first came out, and obviously they introduced this character, Ahsoka, Snips, whatever you want to call her, and yeah, I mean, at first it was a bit like, oh, really? You know, but by the end of the Clone Wars, I actually love this character. It's actually how you create a character for Star Wars out of nowhere, out of the blue, and they've got that just right. It was absolutely amazing, and bringing her back in for Rebels was the right thing to do, because we would like to see this character go forth and spread her wings into the actual Star Wars lore. And I think it's actually, you know, yeah, okay, it's back from the old George Lucas kind of time, but I'm glad Disney took her on board and sort of catered for her really, and for her own storyline. And yeah, so unfortunately we haven't got the sort of teenage version, but never know, it might come out eventually. So we got the Rebels version, so it's another one to go on that Rebel shelf, which is slowly getting fuller, which is what I'm loving at the moment. So here we are, we've got her pencil drawing on the side, looking quite mean in mini form. We've got a lightsaber up here on the side. In the window we've got her two lightsabers, and I kind of like them, you know, she's got that sort of shorter version. It's got a certain name to it, but you can comment down below which one it is, but it's kind of a little sort of shorter, stabbier kind of little lightsaber. And we've got this nice curved hilt, which is obviously what Ventress had, and Dooku. And yeah, I mean, she's looking quite nice in that window display there as well. And on the side, she is number 20. On the other side, it's actually got an open window because it's the older type boxes. We've got Ahsoka Tano here and Ahsoka just in the sort of black part here. And on the back, we've got the picture again with her bio. So, without further ado, let's crack this bad girl open. Well, here she is, out of the packet. And yeah, there's no extra accessories hidden away. There's no stand or anything. It's just Ahsoka and her two lightsabers. Can't ask for anything else, can we really? So we're going to pop her out. First impressions, run away for some pictures, review, and the pictures at the end of the video. So let's have a look. So yeah, I'm a really big fan of Black Series kind of female characters. I always kind of like the way they sort of pose ability and stuff like that. No one's beat Jaina Solo yet, unfortunately, or Jenna, I can't remember. But yeah, she's quite good. She's got little soft goods down here. This belt looks pretty cool, and yeah, I'm just really loving the head sculpt. I love these sort of Leku type pieces and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. So I'm going to go away with her, take some pictures, get the old bad clones out, and I'll see you in a mo. I know, so I've been away, taken a few photos, and I have to say, again, you know, Black Series have done quite well with some of their figures in the past, and this is no exception, to be honest. She's got the good looks up there. I don't know if she's got the face tech or not, to be honest. I don't think she has, but the paint applications on her are really well, and she photographs really nicely, and just the actual slenderness and the sort of like build of the figure, it just works. Just something about it, it just works, and it's transcended from the Rebels cartoony-esque look to a kind of realistic version really well. and I must admit, again, I think it's one of my favourite figures. So we'll look over the figure, posability, articulation, the sculpt and her accessories. And we'll start with the accessories first. I mean, they are just 2 lightsabers, kind of like in a sort of pearly-esque, sort of like bluey white. I mean, obviously when she was younger she used to have green, but when she's come back she's got these sort of like white crystal ones. And yeah, she holds the lightsabers nice and firmly. She has got a good grip on them. The only thing is, I would say these are probably the only letdown of the character. The actual lightsaber itself, the paint applications, isn't too bad. There's not really much going on there. And this is to help the other one. It's just a sort of like a plain silver. But they're just like really sort of like vinyl-y and very sort of like manoeuvrable and just feel a bit really flimsy. The blades are removable, but it just don't feel right. I don't know. I mean, I don't really like removing blades from the lightsabers, to be honest. But apart from that, this one pops out. I've got a slight kink in this one, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to sort of like get the air dryer out. But they just hook onto these little attachments that she's got on the sides. Just these sort of like little hooks that stick out. And yeah, they sit on there nice. They don't sort of spin around loads. And just photographs alright, they just sit on there the way they should. There's no hold ups against it. They're not horrible like rubbery kind of like hooks and stuff. So again, that's done well, but apart from the hilts, they just feel a little bit cheap and a little bit tacky. But the figure itself, yeah, pretty good. Articulation wise, yeah, okay, we've got a few hinders, which you're going to look at the figure straight away, and I guarantee you're just going to spot it 100%. Where the articulation is going to be a little bit hindered, but yeah. So we can do a little left and a right turn on her head. Can we look up much? No. Can we look down much? No. But we got the shoulder comes out. We've got a rotation there. We have got the rotation at the elbow, and it's about a 90 degree. But because of the size of the figure, we can get that arm right across. And if you wanted to do like a 2-handed stance or whatnot, you can do so. We have got a rotation in the wrist, and it's on the hinge. We've got a rotation at the waist. Not much of an ab crunch because of this sort of like shell kind of armour. It really sort of hinders the front part. But we've got a little bit more movement backwards. Leg wise, it can come straight up and back, which is quite nice. So you can get those sort of kind of movement, dance kind of sort of movement, sort of lightsaber tricks. She's a little bit hindered here because of a sort of like under tunic part here. And we've got an upper thigh rotation. We've got a double jointed knee because of the boot thigh, and this part here you can't really get the full sort of articulation out of it, but it's enough. And we've got a rocker and a pivot, which is slightly a little bit hindered because we've got these boot flaps here, but we don't want to take away from the actual figure itself. And what a figure it is, I must admit. It's just done nice. Actually, there's not a lot of detail on there. The paint applications are fine, but there's no sort of real sort of wrinkles or weathering or anything like that on there. But the face, I think it's just like the brightness of up here and the orange skin to the dullness of the brown. It just kind of sort of just pops quite nice. So looking at a kind of sort of Leku, I don't know the actual part of, the species on this, but yeah, I mean, got the white sort of stripes up there, looking a lot older, sort of like a little bit younger than Shakti now, but yeah, and the face as well, she kind of reminds me of like one of those old He-Man figures, like a very sort of like very strong, bold women. And we've got the headpiece up here, blue eyes, lips, just looks great. And then we go down into like a sort of armour parts are now. There's not really much on it. It's just like a very sort of shiny silver. I thought they might even do like a bit of a tortoise shell kind of sort of like leathery look on there, but no, it's just pure brown, and just got this sort of like light brownish sort of tunic, which is the same on her arms with a little bit of kind of sort of creases in there. And then on their sort of guards, we've got like a kind of comlink, as they always kind of have fingerless gloves with a little bit of armour, and the same on the other side. And then we've got this sort of like mid-belt sort of tunic part here, which is separate to the figure. And we've got the flaps, and we've got the kind of like a little leather creasing and stuff on there. But again, you know, it's not really too sort of much in the details there. It's just very light. It shows up a lot more on the camera actually than it does even sort of like by the naked eye. But we've got these hooks, which have got a little bit of detail in there as well. And then we've got this kind of sort of like just little small material here, which kind of works, you know, so it doesn't really hinder the movement at all. There's not much up there, it just goes into brown sort of legs. And then onto the boots, and I really like these boots. I love the top of the sort of like shin pad with this line that goes all the way down, and actually goes down to her actual bottom foot as well. And then just quite plain boots really. There's no sort of weathering or anything on there, but yeah, it's a pretty good figure, I must admit. I'm really impressed actually, and yeah, and it fills up that Rebels shelf. That's all growing quite nice. I just need to get Chopper, which something puts me off. Every time I see Chopper for 20 quid, I see another figure that I quite like. And Ezra at the moment, I think the guy's just taken a rain check a bit like he has in the actual Rebel sort of series, because you can't find this guy anywhere. So guys, anyway, this brings me to the end of Ahsoka. What do you think? Do you think she looks good? Have you purchased this figure already? You can comment down below. You can follow me on Instagram. Comment, do whatever you want to do to support the channel. And do you know what? I'll see you next time. Bye.